These hoes be tripping.
Welcome to the video, guys. Just got out of the gym. I think I just finished some tests and some homework. Car's beeping at me. Just finished some tests and some homework yesterday. Glad to be on spring break. I do some work around the house. I'd done some spraying and stuff yesterday. A lot of stuff yesterday that I've been intending to get done. Some cleaning done as well. Found my old Predator tuner. Gonna do some things maybe with this car with the tuner. Got to get some stuff figured out on that. Got some more parts in for the car today. Got a couple of things I'm gonna do. Got an appointment for it at the end of the week for some things. So we got plans coming up. So I'll be putting those into effect.
I want to remind you guys to switch over to the live section of my YouTube channel. Check out some of the live streams that I have over there. I live stream Fortnite every so often. Used to do it every Friday-ish, something like that. But check out some of the live streams over there. Last one I done, I thought was a pretty cool one. Also got a new review over the new season of Fortnite. So check those streams out. But a couple of things I wanted to tell you about. I found the Predator that I used in my Magnum, and it also works on my SRT that I have, the charger. The issue is this cable right here has a chip in it, and for whatever reason, the Windows 10 driver doesn't exactly work with this cable, so it's hard to connect it to set up the network that it needs to communicate. But it is beneficial because I can go in there and I can read the trouble codes and I can clear the trouble codes. Something that's unique on the SRT8 is that you can read the codes, the trouble codes that engine light comes on. It's got the trouble codes. You can read those trouble codes off the dash. It'll tell you what the codes are and you can look them up. So that's one benefit of it, but you can't clear the codes from the car. At least I don't think you can clear the codes without turning off the battery or whatever and disconnecting the battery, whatever. But remember a few videos ago, I told you about the coolant hose was loose. And that was some of my first endeavors of fixing the things on the coolant system. So I let those things kind of wait until I got this other issue fixed with the other coolant tube. Check out the other videos if you want to see more on the coolant tube. This is not a tube, it's a coolant hose. It's the upper radiator hose, but I got a new one of these. And you can see the spring inside there. It came with the spring. Some of the hoses that you order don't come with the spring, but what the spring does is keep the hose from collapsing. I started to get a hose without the spring, but I don't want to go through trouble when the car is under some kind of heavy acceleration or anything, or have trouble with the tube shutting or the radiator hose collapsing on itself. I got a 180 thermostat. I think there's a 180 already in it, but it doesn't hurt once I have these things apart, is to put a new thermostat in there. Got my torque wrench and my other wrench for loosening it up. Pretty simple process to take those things off and put the new one back on. I'm not going to videotape a whole lot of that. As long as I have something to catch the coolant, it's not really a hard process to do. Doesn't take long. The only issue is the hose clamps. The hose clamps that are on the car are those little cheap crinkly clamps. And what happens with these coolant hoses, when coolant starts to run through here, the rubber, it expands, it contracts. But those crinkles, it'll swell up and it actually start to cut into the hose and start leaking, usually on the bottom of the hose. It runs down or around. And that's what's currently happening. Because the last time I was messing with the hose, I think I kind of tightened it up. But they make spring clamps that go on top of these. And the things that are hard, you got to get the pliers to get in there and get a hold of them. Spring clamps work the best because they expand with the hose and they contract with the hose. And they don't cut into the hose, but they still keep a firm enough grip to where you don't have any leaks. My bottom hose still has the spring clamps, but the top hose doesn't have the spring clamps. So I've got to order some of those, and they're really hard to track down, and especially to get the right size. You don't want to get one of those things and the size is just too loose. It's not the best day to do it. Like I said, it really doesn't take long to do it, so I'm gonna pop on the gloves and the doctor is gonna go to work. So as always, issues always come up, and well, not really a big issue, but I thought I'd put this on video because you can see down in there to the cooler neck. I got a new coolant neck that I'm gonna put on here. I gotta take this one off. But you see the hole in the bottom of the thermostat itself.
and I will point at it. And down there at the bottom, there's a little hole in the bottom of the thermostat. That actually is supposed to be at the top to help the air bleed off. It's not supposed to be at the bottom, so that may cause a few issues in your coolant system. But I'll take that off and torque this back up. Just want to show that and show how the coolant's been running down the bottom of that thermostat housing. I just want to show that in case any other guys are out there in SRT land need to see that. 9 foot-pounds. It looks like I have mismatching bolts there, so hopefully they're same size when I get them out, so we'll get this sucker done. Oh, and I gotta get some new clamps. Right here's a shot of the new thermostat, and you can see the little gold tip at the top of your screen there. That's the hole I'm talking about. You see the air valve at the top? And it looks much better. So finally got this thing put back together. It's the next day, but I got the cheap hose clamps on both ends. Turns out I'll be doing the clamp situation a little bit later, but what arose was this hose. I'm tired of messing with these hoses. So I've been driving the car around, no leaks on the car here and no leaks down here. Now, one thing I will tell you guys that this radiator that's in this car is some type of aftermarket radiator, or they pull one out of an RT, which Charger RT or whatever. A lot of radiators will fit, but the difference between the radiators is this inlet hose. My inlet hose here is the smaller one. The actual SRT radiators have a larger inlet hose that matches the thermostat housing up here. So if you have one of these cars and they've had the radiator replaced, check the hose sizes. So I'm gonna close the video right here. Chose to take this vlog over this week right here instead of put out one. I may put out another one this week, but it's been a good spring break. I've done other things besides, you know, fix a hose, but man, messing with these hoses. But waited till today, and I got my car worked on. I took it to the shop, and what they done is actually fixed a recall for the airbag in here, and that was kind of a bonus because I was going there for something else. They looked at the car. I'm going to have another, like a warranty job done on this because of the issue with the gas tank, and I'll get into that in another video. One of the interesting things is when they got in here and they started looking at the airbag over on the passenger side, I guess they pulled the glove box out, and when I first got this car, I cleaned it out and had to clean out a lot of residue, a lot of weed and stuff and things, and just, you know, getting the smell out of the car. And the whole time it still kind of smelled every once in a while. I'm like, man, you know, maybe I need to get some air freshener or something like that. But I found a conglomerate of stuff behind the glove box. So I don't have a kid, you know, that does a lot of coloring and schoolwork. I don't have a kid that young, and I'm not a woman, so I don't have a need for those, and I don't do this. So this is what was causing the smell in the car. So now hopefully I got all the stuff out of here so I can kind of get another a better suited scent for the car. So when you turn on the air and the heat, it doesn't just start to smell like other things. So catch me in the next videos. Again, check out the live videos I have, but I'll catch you in the next one.